However, scalability, I feel we have, and I feel the example you gave is so strong. The desire is, can we have that happening across the board? So what are the signals in the market for you for that? Where are you seeing that this type, is everyone on board? Are we going to see this type of thing scaling out across hospital systems? What's your view on that?
So, that's a very good question and something that we discuss with our, customers day in and day out. That is, I would call it, the ROI of digital or ROI of data based, healthcare. So, I think the biggest use case that we have seen for this is the pandemic itself. The two biggest buzzwords that came through the pandemic were, telemedicine and virtual care, and almost I mean it was almost companies which invested in that before really reaped the benefit and were able to provide the care that was necessary at that point in time, and companies that did not invest, right? So I think most of the boards now realize that these kind of it's not a black swan event, the pandemic. It's something that's going to happen increasingly in the future, and we need to be ready for it. And the world has changed. So I think the conversations we were having 2 years earlier, wherein we had to first prove out the return on investment for some of these digital investments, are no longer being asked for. I mean, most of them realize it. I think most of the boards are very well aligned with this. And so we are seeing definitely a lot more conversations in the market about digital interventions, how they can have a common data strategy, enterprise level data strategy. They're talking about virtual care platforms. I mean, we have an industry leading virtual care platform called RCP, Remote Care Platform. And that is something that is picking up again in conversations. And it is basically an accelerator for somebody who wants to set up a telemedicine practice or a virtual care practice. I think we are seeing that movement in the market, and definitely, I'm saying post pandemic because I saw an interview yesterday by Biden, who said, we are done with the pandemic. We still are working on COVID, but it is done. So, so I'm using that word. But yeah, I think definitely there is a lot of interest across boards to spend on digital now.
And it makes sense. I mean, we have definitely seen people be pushed into a behavior that they were resisting, but also seen a benefit of it. And perhaps I think one of the things I hope you agree, I think is true, is that we're going to see appropriate use. Virtual care is not for every consultation, for every type of thing. It's therefore appropriate use over time, and it can do such benefits for the individual, for the family, and for the clinician. But we still have a huge way to go in terms of implementation and people saying they want to do it to taking on the challenge of doing it. So let's be hopeful in these final few minutes. What will the future look like? If we keep going in the way we're going, those conversations continue as they are, what's the future of data in health going to look like?
It's a very good question, Reena. And I mean, from my vantage point or from our organization's vantage point of looking across the industry, from the provider space to the payer space to the medical and pharma companies to digital health organizations. So we are having these conversations on a day-to-day basis. So I'm extremely optimistic about the use of data to lower the cost of care, to improve health equity, and most importantly, I think data will be used in improving the quality of care, right? So mistakes will be identified earlier. I mean, we have all kinds of issues in the healthcare delivery today, wherein the wrong drug is given to the wrong patient, or the wrong procedure is given to the wrong patient. All of that will go away. I'm very hopeful about that. I see the very ubiquitous use of AI for every aspect of care delivery. Like we spoke about how doctors and caregivers will not be doing a lot of mundane tasks. They will be doing more decision making kind of activities, and they'll be able to treat more patients per day. Both using these virtual care capabilities, as well as AI taking over a lot of their routine tasks. I also see data increasingly being used in machine learning of data being used for improving the next generation of medical devices. and also it's used a lot in the drug development space as well. And shortening of clinical trials using decentralized clinical trials, that's something that is becoming mainstream now. I also see the coming of patient digital twins. So digital twin of a patient, for the audience, is basically a digital avatar of your current physical appearance, and basically it will be used for deciding better care pathways. The surgeon can look at your digital twin and decide, look at various options and see what happens. So if then scenarios can be made, and developing preventive care protocols for patients using the digital twin, and most importantly, I think delivering a personalized medicine will happen in the very very near future. But more importantly, what I'm seeing is the convergence of all these different innovations from different industries. It's going to significantly lower the cost of care. I think in the order of magnitude, it's going to come down, and then increase care availability. More patients are going to be having access to care, and there'll be, we'll be able to provide predictable care outcomes to patients. So I think all of this is something that I'm very hopeful of seeing, not in the very distant future. I'm talking about the next 2 to 3 years. And at Harman we are actually working on a lot of these, in advancing
Mhm.
this future. First of all, we are helping build the next generation of medical devices end to end through our various accelerators, looking at past data for that. We have an industry leading remote care platform, which is being increasingly implemented. We are using some ready to use AI ML models, to help build some data analytics use cases for our customers. And then finally, the overall intelligent data, healthcare data platform that we are building, and we are investing quite a bit on it, is something that is helping accelerate this future as well. So I'm overall very, very optimistic about this, Reena.
Well, yeah, I mean, plenty of predictions there, and very viable ones. I'm with you, Ram. I'm with you. I think it's all viable because it's happening. That's the
Yes.
reality. That's the exciting thing. These are proof points that are happening.